Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's an absolute pleasure joining you here at Davos 2025 to talk about the aspiration of positioning the state of Andhra Pradesh as a global petrochemical hub. It is my pleasure to welcome here on the panel the Chief Minister, the Honorable Chandrababu Naidu. A big round of applause for the Honorable Chief Minister. And I have with me a special set of panelists who are going to discuss, elaborate and share their insights on why they believe that India is positioned to leverage on the opportunity that presents itself, and why the state of Andhra Pradesh specifically has the advantage of positioning itself as a petrochemical hub. But before I get to my panelists, let me address that very same question to the Chief Minister. Mr. Naidu, many thanks for joining us here. Let me start by asking you about why you believe your state is best positioned to be a petrochemical hub.
Good evening. As you rightly mentioned, there is a consistent growth in petrochemical, either utilization and downstream industries. It is continuously it's growing. India also is growing very fast. If you see as on today, fifth largest economy, third largest purchasing power parity. Another 2 years' time or 3 years' time maximum, India will become third largest economy. Our Honorable Prime Minister is promoting, and in a big way, not only one or two sectors, overall development of the country. Now growth rate is very impressive. Even people are projecting by 2028 incremental growth rate. Compared to any other country, India will be the highest. So with all these things, again, petrochemicals is growing at the rate of CAGR 7.3%. Even in India, it is growing better than that. So by even contributors for India, 6% to GDP, 5 million people employment, investments also 87 billion, and also by 2040, around 1 trillion industry. These are all very important notable points. As on today, we are having Visakhapatnam, HPCL or BPCL? HPCL. And also now BPCL is coming to Ramayanpatnam. That is what we are working with them. Already started around 90,000 crores. And if they bring partners, it will be better than that. So if you can see in all round, petrochemical is inevitable. But sustainability, how to go for innovation, and also creativity, downstream industries, how far we can reach. We have to balance long term, short term. Some people may have some doubts about green energy is coming. Is there any impact? According to me, there won't be much impact. Parallelly, either green energy and also petrochemical will move forward. That is what is showing as on today. So that is where, for me, personal gain is employment, contribution to my GSDP, and also economy will boost. That is the work we are doing now. Once port BPCL is coming, then port will be viable. Then that port will become Ramayanpatnam will become a township itself. We are having sea coast, nearly 1,000 kilometers. As on today, 5-6 good ports are there. Another 3 ports are under construction. around 10 ports will come. For petrochemicals, compulsorily port is necessary. So, with the next one is not only BPCL, petrochemical, and also other industry will come. Then automatically that ecosystem will emerge. That is the biggest advantage we are going to gain. That's why we are promoting, not only promoting, but they are also showing interest. Andhra is the best. I am very happy. It is a win-win situation.
Well, yes, I would imagine that it should be a win-win situation, but making it a win-win situation will also mean that the government will perhaps be looking at incentivizing investment, incentivizing industry. Are you looking at any specific incentives, Mr. Naidu, to draw in investment into the petrochemical space?
Better my friend has to tell that.
Mr. Singh, let's address the issue, and of course also the dilemma that the Chief Minister spoke of. Energy consumption, energy demand in India growing at 7 to 8% and is expected to grow even further. We do have a significant renewable energy target as well, along with, of course, the existing fossil fuel driven energy. What do you see as the mix going forward? But more importantly, as the Chief Minister was pointing out, leveraging Andhra Pradesh's strengths to ensure that investment moves there.
Thank you, Shereen. First of all, let me thank Honorable CM for inviting me here and put our perspective. As was explained by Honorable CM, then about the advantages what Andhra is having. So Andhra is having the geographical as well as demographical, then a kind of human resource, the culture of working. I think this is a tremendous kind of opportunities in the state of Andhra. We had been present in Andhra for quite some time, almost about 3 decades, and we find that it has been one of the most conducive state in that. Let me thank Honorable CM from core of my heart that I met almost about few months back, and I came to meet him only for 5 minutes, but I think that lasted for about an hour, and I could get a clear kind of mentoring in that meeting more than anything else, that what we are thinking, that how the green energy can be utilized. And let me just try to put forward here the point is that now the energy we have studied in our school, that energy can be transformed from one form to the other form. So till now we had been only talking about how to convert the molecule into electron as far as the electricity is concerned. And now we are dreaming rather than we are putting action that how the electron can be converted into molecule. Yes. And that molecule will be will be served as a kind of the petrochemical also. And as you know very well that the foundation stone for the first hydrogen hub in the country was laid by Honorable PM, I think then with all kind of support and persistence from Honorable CM. About a month, not even a month back, then as recent as that, and this is going to be the first hydrogen hub. And this is going to be green chemicals coming out of that. And once you are having the chemical, the hydrocarbon, the beauty of the hydrocarbon is, and I'm sure that Mr. Sahney will be able to explain far better because he's a chemical engineer, I'm still a mechanical engineer. That we'll
get a nice jugalbandi going for both of you to explain that to us.
So once you are having any of this hydrocarbon chemical, you can convert that into that. So it's not only to be the crude which need to be imported and then converted into the kind of downstream into petrochemicals, other chemicals, etc. But maybe I think soon we will have our own self-reliance on that side, and the story is starting from the state of Andhra. And what started like as an IT story in the country, similarly I'm sure that the story of this green chemicals and the petrochemicals and then kind of actual transition and the net zero will be the path which will be really enabled by this kind of.
Well, that certainly is the hope. Yes, sir, you wanted to say something.
No, I'm very happy. This is where people are talking as on today green hydrogen. Then NTPC has come one step forward. Now nearly 1.87 lakh crores investment over a period of 7-8 years. And also Honorable PM has laid foundation and backward integration with green energy, that is solar, wind, pumped energy, everything. Here if you see, one is petrochemical, one is green energy downstream industries, green hydrogen. Andhra Pradesh is having 10 ports. For petrochemical, port is required. Green energy for export, again, port is required. So both are possible, as you rightly mentioned. Now there is a huge demand also we have to create. Green hydrogen, all these things. Now that is the future. For sustainability, we have to bring reforms in, I can say, fuel or energy. Earlier we were all talking, and also downstream industries, so many chemicals, and also other areas also. Now, as you rightly mentioned, now people are talking about green energy, then how to go for hydrogen, ammonia, all these things. If necessary, how to convert again power. This is a very interesting situation is happening today now. Yes. For that, Andhra Pradesh is the leader. 30% of green energy, green hydrogen by 2030, Andhra Pradesh is going to add in the country. We are proud of it. 1/3 from Andhra Pradesh.
We've already seen a production-linked incentive scheme by the central government for electrolyzers to deal with green hydrogen. But Mr. Sahney, let's take that jugalbandi forward now, adding to what we heard there from Mr. Singh as well as from the Chief Minister on what we need to do next now to ensure that these targets are in fact realized.
Yeah, thanks, Shereen, and thank you, sir, for inviting us here. I'll talk more about the petrochemical side. Sir, as you rightly said, that once there are 3-4 imperatives which are required for developing a petrochemical hub, which Andhra Pradesh and sir, your vision aspires to be. The first and foremost is the feedstock. The feedstock, as you rightly said, that with the refinery coming in and the petchem cracker coming in at the cost of around $10 billion. So that will provide an anchor for all your petrochemical dreams going forward. That is one thing. But sir, in the downstream, because this we have witnessed in several places, that until unless the downstream infrastructure is ready and kicking, then we are not able to realize the whole potential of the feedstock that is available there, sir. That is one. One is infrastructure in terms of roads, ports, which I am sure, sir, you are taking care of, and you have already mentioned that you will be having ample of them. The roads connecting to ports themselves, and those are all will be taken care. I am very sure, sir, with your visionary leadership, it will be done, sir. The other part is, sir, what is required is market. Once we go into downstream, then the downstream market has to be ready to receive those kind of products. And especially in southern India, we know the markets that around 20-25% of the petchem consumption happens in Andhra, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, and Karnataka. These are the 3-4 states wherein 20-25% of the consumption of petrochemical is happening, and we don't have any production capacity of petrochemicals downside of India's anywhere. Only MRPL is one small exception. Otherwise, that is Mangalore. So otherwise, we don't have many petrochemical industries downstream. But consumers are there.
Right.
So that is one. Plus, sir, for the vision, for realizing your vision of a petrochemical hub, a large kicking petrochemical hub, for example, whether it is Port of Antwerp or it is Zurang Island or Port of Houston. These are the 3 very good examples across the world which are developed as petrochemical hubs as you are envisioning, sir. So for that, sir, there is a need for having a anchor who is ready to provide the common facilities, the utilities, the effluent treatment plants, the power, the water, the treated water, the potable water, the light, the lightning, the area development, all those kind of common facilities. Somebody has to do it. But the dilemma here comes that when one person starts doing it or one company starts doing it, they are looking for the consumer also. So it's a conventional chicken and egg story. So for that, sir, I can only humbly suggest, sir, that when we move forward, we will have to have a system wherein we will have to bring in a utility provider, maybe a couple of them or maybe more of them, and then we have to give them some assurance of offtake that yes, for the initial 5 years I will support you, or initial 7 years I will support you, and then with that assurance I go to the investors, because there will be n number of investors which will be required to come at the downstream. Just taking out, like putting up a $10 billion facility and hoping that something will happen, it will not happen, sir. We'll have to actively entice, we'll have to actively bring people there, and and this is the biggest carrot that is there, that your utilities and your common facilities, you don't have to invest on them. You only have to give the OPEX. You only have to pay for the money that you use, and you will be ready to go. It's a kind of a plug and play kind of a system. That, in our experience, I have seen across various petrochemical hubs. That is the way it works. Maybe we can, going further, we can work on that. Thank you.
Sir, you wanted to come in on that?
No, as you rightly mentioned, always, petrochemical is one. Or green energy, green hydrogen is one stream. Then downstream industries, how to go about, how to create that ecosystem. One is infrastructure, one is downstream industries, promotion, and at the same time creating market also. Then only it will be sustainable venture.
Yeah.
So that is where, as you rightly mentioned, for the last 15 years we are talking, we have stopped at one level. If you go to Singapore, that is one of the best Jurong island. They have done very well. We want to bring similar to India for the last 10 years. We are unable to bring as on today. So
what has been the biggest deterrent? Why you haven't been able to do what you envisioned doing over the course of a decade?
sometimes that eco players, now BPCL has come, Ramayampatnam they are doing. Now they may need some more technological partners or downstream industries, how to bring them as a consortium. That is another area. Now NTPC is going. Now they have to create market also simultaneously, downstream industries, but there is a future. Initial mover will have an advantage. And at the same time, initial mover will have a tough time to break through.
Yes, they'll have the first mover advantage, but they'll also have to do the heavy lifting, and that usually is the case. Well, we have two engineers. How can you not have a consultant? So we do have a consultant here on the panel as well. So Gaurav,
I apologize.
Not at all. But in light of what you've heard so far, and you're based in Singapore. We were just giving the Singapore example as well. Take me through how you see this problem and how we should be addressing it.
Well, I'm not only not an engineer, I studied philosophy, so
that makes the
I
two
think
of
I'm
us,
really
by the
on
way.
the opposite end of the spectrum. I think one thing that we've heard today is vision, which I think is really important because you're making such a huge investment, and that is an advantage, right? In today's world, any new both port and hub that is being built has to think about what is competitive advantage for the next 30 years. It's not about the reaction to what's happening today. It's not about Trump pulling out of the climate. It's about 30 years and where's the world heading. And so competitive advantage in this space has to be one that knows what to do with a $100 carbon price and beyond. And so I think it's very exciting, everything that I've at least heard on the panel, and I'm learning a lot, that the way you're thinking about developing this is actually thinking about being competitive in the future. And Jurong is often brought up as that example. But again, if you look at, it's not just shared utilities, it's that those shared utilities have decarbonization very much built into them. Singapore is thinking very far ahead around the price, how to be price competitive, how to be quality and price competitive, and they know price will have to deal with carbon. So, they have a shared carbon capture hub, they have multiple different types of industries there, and I think it's a great example for Andhra to be thinking about. Just the other thing I would say is, when we actually think about how these things get developed, it's worth noting that there is no one who is advocating for or lobbying for the future. Everyone in the room is tied to the present. Their money comes from the present. And so as we think about what are the types of investments needed to be cost competitive for 3 decades, we have to be thinking about the people who are not in the room. And that is a lot of what I think Singapore thinks about. To some extent, it is what has allowed even the American sort of Gulf hub to also be successful, is this idea of the innovation you need to win the future. And so I think it would be great to also be thinking about how we drive innovation into this market.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us here today. And thank you very much for giving us an insight into where things stand for the market, but more importantly, what the future looks like. Appreciate your time.